Hello everyone, this is Money Mom. Welcome to the channel. Today I want to share with you guys my 5 tips on having a successful low buy and perhaps no buy week, days, month, year. Let's get started and talk about it. Personally, I don't advocate for a whole year, but everybody's different. So I've got some tips for you that I think will really help some of you that have never done a low buy, no buy, dabble with it and see if it's a good fit for you. I'll be honest with you, I'm not really doing a no buy, low buy, but I have really been good about sticking to my budget. Did you guys know that the average American spends around $697 on unnecessary spending a month? What does that mean? That means buying things that they don't necessarily mean, going out to eat quite often, buying coffees. Nothing wrong with doing that every now and then, but that stuff can add up. That's why I call it death by 1,000 cuts. So what are some things we can do? I think the first thing that we have to do before we do anything is ask, why do you want to do it? Because a lot of times people will just jump on the bandwagon and try to follow trends. And I know I do this sometimes because you want to fit in, doing what everyone else is doing. Why are you thinking of doing this? What's the reasoning behind it? Is it to save money? Do you feel like you've been overspending lately? Which brings me to number 2. I think this is an excellent question for all of us to ask ourselves. And I'll answer this question honestly for you. What are some areas that you feel that you can tend to sometimes overspend? Now, it used to be groceries for me, but I've improved. And remember, I'm all about improving 1% at a time. But I've made a lot of improvements on spending less on groceries. And now, do I overspend? I probably buy more of things than I need to, like more candles, things like that. But I don't feel bad if I buy a lot of something as long as I either gift it or I use it. So what areas do you think that you overspend? I know we all have something. Mine sometimes tends to be kitchen gadgets, but I am making small strides on all this. So find out where you're overspending, and that might be an area where you do your no buy, low buy. Number 3, set some rules and create a plan. So let's say you're just getting new into it. You started asking yourself, hey, where do I overspend? And you decide that you spend too much on coffees out. This is just an example, but you love all the holiday beverages and you're noticing that you tracked it and you're spending about $70 a month on coffees out. And you're like, I really don't want to do that. So you make some rules. How long are you going to do this? Just for a month? Are you going to try it for a week? And are you allowed to use gift cards? That's an important question. Say somebody gives you a gift card for the coffee shop. Will you allow yourself to use that? Some people say yes, some people say no. Do you say no buy, and for how long? Or are you going to allow yourself, hey, I'm going to cut this in half. I normally spend $70. I'm taking an envelope, I'm putting $35 in it, which is half. That is all. When it's gone, that is it. Or are you going to go hardcore and say, for 30 days, I'm not going to go to any coffee shops? Everyone has to figure out what to do with what they think works for them. That's why I call it personal finance. What are you going to do with that money saved? That's kind of where it all goes with the goals. I believe in starting out small. A lot of people will end up just going hardcore. Like, I'm going to take my grocery budget, which is, $500 a month, and I'm going to say I'm going to spend $100 a month. Well, instead of doing that, maybe take it from $500 to $450. Or say, you know what? I usually buy like a couple packs of pop each month, but this month I'm going to go down, instead of buying 2, I'm going to go down to buying 1. Any little change we can do makes a big difference. It depends on what your financial goals are. I know some folks that really want to pay off debt, they want to build a savings, and they're going hardcore on this stuff because their goals are really important to them. And the more they can cut out unnecessary spending, the faster they can reach their goals. So that is something to think about. Last but not least, do an inventory of everything you have and do it often. Look at all your food, clothes, gadgets, look at everything you have, gift cards, all of that stuff, and figure out what you already have at your house so that it will help you feel more abundant. Maybe you could look up some free, some people will look up different groups on Facebook, Marketplace, things like that, where they're trading off free things like free groups, free cycle type stuff, where you can buy nothing groups. That's what I was going to say, buy nothing groups. Using the library, find all the free stuff out there so that you don't feel deprived. Bottom line, don't beat yourself up if you mess up. Remember, we don't have to be perfect. At least you're doing something to get towards your financial goals. Many people will bury their head on the sand and do nothing, but at least you're taking steps and strides. You can always improve the more you do it. So let me know, guys, in the comments below. What are some tips and tricks that you have for a successful no buy, low buy, whether it's day, week, month, year? What are some of your tips and tricks? And one other question, what areas do you tend to overspend? That's all I have to say for now. Love you, appreciate you, and I hope to see you on tomorrow morning's video. Bye-bye, everybody.